Wolves of Wind, Book 2, Gills. Chapter 7, Deadly Mud. Rain looked back over the border. Her flying suddenly went off course as a huge tremor shattered the howling of the other pack's ceremony. Rain quickly swiveled her head to see what was happening, and to her terror she saw the wall that surrounded both Riverpack and Skypack's territory cracking. Suddenly, a huge landslide came down through the forest, getting closer and bigger by the second as it picked up trees and debris. Rain bolted to the side, where she knew Forest and Boulder would be trapped in the cave. She felt her muscles stretch as she ran faster than she had ever run before. "Boulder! Forest!" she shrieked as she burst into the cave, her paws skidding on smooth stone as she struggled to stop running. Boulder was already helping Forest up. At least he had realized in the moment that Forest was worth saving. Suddenly, a huge branch came crashing down, and Rain darted forwards, pushing Boulder out of the way but failing to grab Forest as well. There was a sickening crash, and red splattered up on Rain's pelt as the giant branch fell down on the stone. Forest lay on that stone, with the branch covering her upper half. A wolf's body wasn't supposed to look like that. Rain realized that she didn't have time to stay and mourn over the loss of her mother. She had to get out, with Boulder. She bounded over to him and lifted his unconscious form. Rain began dragging him out of the den, and when she was in a safer position to move him to her back, she did. Rain ran fast, but her torn muscles refused to overwork themselves again, and with Boulder on her back, she was badly weighed down. The mud had to be covering half of the crater by the time that it stopped. Trees and rocks were strewn everywhere as if the mud had flung them at the end of its life in a last attempt to kill the two packs. But luckily, not much was destroyed on Riverpack's land, and there was still a decent chunk of Skypack that could still be hunted on. Rain was devastated at the loss of her mother, but Boulder surprisingly did show pity for Rain, although if it had been Rain that died, then he wouldn't have shown a scrap of sympathy for poor Forest. Rain lay down. Her muscles would be too weak for hunting tomorrow. She yawned and closed her eyes sadly. Her dreams were like dancing fear all around her, but one dream stuck out to her. She had been looking around for something, and she caught a glimpse of dark gold in the undergrowth. "Forest? Forest!" she said happily, running to greet her mother. But Forest stopped her by holding out a paw. "Rain, now is not the time for grieving or happiness." "But, Mother, I can see you now," Rain said, wagging her tail. "Dear Rain, you must make a hard decision, but it's one that you and you alone must choose." "What must I choose, Mama?" Rain asked, tilting her head in confusion. "The future for us, and the past for the new. But be careful, Rain, for your heart is not always truthful." "Mother!" Rain called as Forest was whisked away. But as Forest left, Rain saw 3 wolves. The wolves had blurry faces, so Rain could not recognize them. But she saw the colors of the wolves. One was gray with red wings, one was silver with lavender wings, and the other was a white wolf with glints of cream in her pelt and no wings. Rain knew that one of them was her, and she assumed that the other was Boulder because Rock was dead. But who was the wolf without wings? Could it be Bird? No, Bird was off of Riverpack now. What did she have to do with Rain and Boulder? Rain slowly blinked open her eyes. They adjusted to the light for a few moments, and then Rain could see again. For a few seconds, Rain didn't know why she was here and not in Skypack's camp. Then she realized that the pack was gone, but why wasn't she in the small cave that she and Boulder had sheltered in? The smell of thick mud filled her nose, and she remembered where she was. She was now a runaway orphan with her mate. But if she could choose her path, then that was not how it would stay.